depths of the internet, a podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest list to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome, of course, to the Cigar Loons, live from England, and of course, live from the United States. And with me tonight, of course, we've got Matthew, Vital and Proof. Of course, we've got the Grumpy One, Mr. Grumpy Preacher 58, and also we've got Jess at Tobacco G-Sticks, and of course, myself, Gaz at Rocky Cigar Reviewer. And welcome to the show. I'm just sitting with the guys tonight, and we're just going to be shooting from the hip, smoking a cigar, and chatting about whatever comes up to our mind. And of course, Whiskey Tube, thank you for joining us, our brother, and thank you for being here. And Whiskey Tube, I've got something for you that's going to be coming. All I'm going to say is it's a surprise, and it'll be coming by post. So that's all I'm going to say. I've just sorted something out with one of the brothers, and a little bit of something's coming to you for saying with the show and for the support. So thank you, and like I say, it will be coming out, and that's personally come from Matthew, that is. And we hope you enjoy it, my brother, when it gets to you. But yes, we're just getting shit from the hip. And of course, Matthew, I'm going to go with you first, my brother. What do you think about, of course, Sid Justice, or Psycho Sid, passing away at 63? The news that we got yesterday over Psycho Sid.
I just saw it yesterday, but I didn't read into it much. I didn't see if there was did he have cancer or anything like that?
He had cancer. He'd been suffering with cancer for 7 years and didn't tell nobody, and only close family knew. And of course, he'd taken him. But like I was saying to Grumpy today, the whole weird thing about it was he put a post on X 2 days before saying about, of course, the 25 Hall of Fame and being inducted into it. And, of course, as he was on about it, saying, well, now, of course, Vince McMahon's gone Triple H, come on, you can put something together to get me into the Hall of Fame. And 2 days later, of course, he passes away. So I'm wondering if it was a case of he knew it was coming and it was a time for him to be inducted. And if he had got that back, he might have, of course, had the strength to fight it and be there for it. But it's a shame that he passed. And, of course, memory serves me well. Most memorable moment was when he was fighting, of course, Scott Steiner, jumped off the top rope and broke his leg.
Right.
But you look at his career, where it expanded, of course, with the Four Horsemen, with, of course, Ric Flair, and then going on from there to, of course, coming into WWE and fighting, of course, with Hulk Hogan, headlining that WrestleMania, then headlining, of course, WrestleMania with The Undertaker, where he lost, of course, the WWF title at that time. And later on down the line, where he came back for, of course, one of the Raw episodes and, of course, jackknifed, or should I say, powerbomb, of course, Heath Slater. And then he's had a couple of other matches. And really nice, down-to-earth guy. It's just, of course, it's a shame he's passed. And what we're seeing now, especially, of course, me and Matthew and a lot of us, there's our childhood heroes from wrestling. A lot more of them are passing away, and they're not hitting the prime age of 70s and, of course, 80s. And I don't know if you see, Matthew, did you see this Dory Funk wrestled in Japan?
I did not.
Yeah, Dory Funk's had his last match in Japan. Jeez, my brother, what a fucking shitstorm that was. Especially for the age Dory Funk is. And he wrestled.
What is he, about 100 now?
Yeah, Most probably Grump, most probably about fucking 100, my brother.
Yeah.
But Whiskey Tubes just put, wow, of course. Whiskey Tubes commented, he's put, wow, I remember watching The Four Horsemen way back over 40 years ago. Yeah, man. Of course. It's just a
Don't date
shame
us
when you
like
look,
that,
of
brother.
course, when you look at the caliber of wrestling and then look at where we are now, there's a lot that have been around. Now, what did you reckon of AEW over the weekend, Matthew? Did you catch any of AEW? Of course, with Daniel Bryan
No,
in the championship. So
I did
Daniel
not.
Bryan's won, of course, the AEW title, and he's now the world
Really?
heavyweight champion of AEW. And supposedly on Wednesday, which of course tomorrow, he's going to announce his retirement from wrestling.
That's fair.
And
He's getting up there too.
yeah, he's getting up there, and you know something with the amount of injuries. But Sting came back, of course, in London
I know.
to help Darby Allin, and it's like, so you're saying you're retired, you're not having nothing to do with it, but you come back. And I think once you've got that bug of wrestling in you, you never, of course, get away from it. But anyway, what are you guys smoking? I'm going to, of course, light up my cigar, and welcome to everyone, of course, who's watching. We're just sitting and chilling. It's why we called it the Back Porch. I was going to call it the back door, but it might have brought up some different kind of conversation if I called it the back door. So it's called the Back Porch tonight. The Back Porch. But yeah.
I've got Roma Craft Aquatante. I think it's a Toro. Good cigar. Really enjoy it.
Cool.
I have
What
a,
cigar have you got to... Oh, go on, Jess. Sorry. What cigar have you got, Jess? And we'll go
I have an
over to-
Oliva O Maduro. I enjoy Olivas. This time around, I didn't know which Oliva to get, so I said, "Fuck it!" I bought a sampler. I enjoy Olivas very
Get
much.
'em all. Yeah, just get them all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Grump, which one have you got, my brother? What are you smoking tonight?
Pissed off by Christoph.
Chris.
It's tough.
Pissed off. One of my all-time
Christoph.
favourites. Christoph. You know
Yeah.
something? They make some excellent cigars, Christoph do. And you look at their portfolio from, of course, the Christoph Pissed Off to, of course, the Cristina Maduro, the Cameroonian, of course, Vengeance that they've got, different ones. And I've been very fortunate to smoke them. And, of course, they're here in the UK, and the Vengeance are just at the UK market, so I can't wait to smoke the Vengeance again because it's been a long time for smoking that. And then the 2024 release at PCA has finally hit the UK market. So
Nice.
I can't wait to smoke that and see what that tastes like. But out of Christoph cigars, guys, which Christoph cigars stuck out to you the most that you smoked and that you've enjoyed?
Well, unfortunately for me, I've only ever smoked the one. I think it's the Christoph Classic.
I haven't had any.
So I need to put more Christoph on my list, apparently.
Yes, you do.
I had
Yep, you do.
whatever that blue ribbon one is, the one with the blue band. That's the one that I was gonna buy, and then I don't know what happened.
That
I
could be
didn't
the
get it.
Cameroonian, the blue one.
That's yeah. There you go,
Yeah,
Cameroon.
Yeah, it could be the Cameroonian, the blue one. Yeah, they've got a load, and you know something. Glenn Casey, who owns it, really nice guy. Of course, Jared is his right hand man, and then of course Ward. Really nice people to chat to, and wealth of knowledge about, of course, the whole Christoph brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been fortunate enough to talk to him and get some of that information. And I enjoy Christoph cigars. There's something I'm a big advocate of Christoph cigars. And I definitely say there's something there in the whole Christoph range that will, of course, situate to you. But tonight I'm just smoking a Henry Winterman, and it's a cigar made by the Scandinavian Tobacco Company. And the Scandinavian Tobacco Company own, of course, the likes of Alec Bradley, they own Diesel, Cohiba in America, and of course, there are a lot of different companies that they have cigars made for. And you know something, they make some really great cigars. All the different companies do who they've brought, and Scandinavian Tobacco Company, as of last year, said they lost revenue. They didn't lose revenue because I've looked at their figures, and they made 9.6 billion in profit as of last year. So you can't say you've lost money when you're making 9.6 billion. And of course, you can see their sales figures by visiting their website, of course. And like I say, what do you think of the nice little new intro tonight? Of course, with the new song that was created. What do you reckon? Nice and jazzy, nice and country. Do you think it suits the Cigar Loons, or do you think it needs to be jazzed up a bit more and a bit more metal?
Anyway,
What do you reckon?
I wouldn't mind it being more metal, but I don't mind the country either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind country. I like country a lot. But you know, a little more attitude in there definitely.
Oh, trust me, Grumpy's got a song for the Grumpy Garage Show, and let me put it that way, that one sticks out. It's a great catchy song, and I can't wait to see you using it, Grump. And of course, when you tend to doing that, and like I say,
yeah,
of course,
figure out how to get it over there on something so I can play it.
oh yeah, like I say, we're big advocates and big supporters, of course, of Grumpy doing his little music show on TikTok. It's something that Grumpy's been doing for a long time, and we've been a big sponsor of it. So if you want to go and, of course, grab yourself a cigar and sit down and listen to Grumpy playing the tunes from the yesterday era, then of course you can catch him on TikTok. It's like, of course, the rest of the guys. Of course, you can catch me on TikTok. And normally I'm posting, of course, for the Cigar Loons on there. You can find, of course, Matthew, if I tell him proof. You can find, of course, Jess at Tobacco G Sticks. And, of course, you can find Kate, our other Cigar Loon brother, Cigar Kate, on there, where he posts, of course, different cigars that he's smoking and reviews. And I'm seeing a bit of a change with TikTok. Grumpy was live today smoking his cigar, and you didn't get your 10-minute warning, did you, Grump? The police catch you.
It took about 10 minutes. It took about 10 minutes for him to catch me, but I finally got one.
Well,
They were very slow.
They lately have been flagging my stories, whatever I want to put up on my story. They've been flagging those. But no, I went live the other night, like 2 nights ago or something like that. With what the hell is that old man's name?
Cigar Man Tom?
Yeah, Cigar Man Tom. There you go. They were in there. Yeah, they were in there, and I was just like, well, at least they're not talking about garbage. He was like, oh, you want to come in? And I was like, if you got room for me, I'll come in. Sure, why not? And he kicked some girl off. Hey, get off. He's coming in. Straight up. That's how it happened. And I had my bottle. Everybody was smoking cigars, so everything was fine. But as soon as I showed them the bottle of whiskey that I had, because they were asking what we were drinking. Yeah, dude, they took me off. They gave me a 10-minute ban, so I couldn't go back on for another 10 minutes. And then I go on my fucking profile, and there was right underneath my picture, there's big bold red letters says "Warning."
Well,
every video I post within seconds, it says it's not available for the For You page. Like immediately.
Well, I get that a lot.
About drinking. Well, considering you just mentioned about drinking, what is everyone drinking? I'm drinking Tyson Fury, which is an energy drink. So what are you guys drinking, of course, tonight with your cigars? So, Grumpy, what have you got, brother? Let's go with you first. Grump. So you've got a coffee, and what's that in your can, my brother? What you got in your can?
Mr. Pib.
Oh, the Pib, yeah.
Dr. Pepper's brother, her cousin.
They're related for sure.
Yeah, they're kinfolk.
Yeah. Of course. Matthew, what have you got, my brother? You were showing us a bottle. What have you
Yeah,
got
I've got Wild Turkey 101 rye.
Oh, well,
Nice.
Okay. And Jess, what are you?
I love the rice, man. I am unfortunately down to my last itty bitty sip here of my Noble Oak bottle that I had, and then after this, I got a cup of coffee there sitting for me.
Nice.
But yeah, so of course, I know we want to say, of course, sorry to everyone who normally does tune in on a Tuesday. We haven't been coming live on Tuesdays, of course. We've had a couple of Thursday episodes. But you know something? What we are going to be doing, we are coming back on Tuesdays. Of course, we're live tonight and we're going to be live on Friday. And of course, we're calling Friday Tabernacle Friday. So we're going to be, of course, smoking Foundation Cigars to Tabernacle on Friday.
I'm excited for that.
For the Cigar Loons. Yeah, and we're going to be doing the review on it, all of us. And of course, Kurt's going to be with us. So we're all going to be here, the five of us, smoking the same cigar. And what it is, it's going to be a bit of a experiment. So, of course, as you guys know, and of course, everyone who watches the Cigar Loons, I'm in England, of course. You've got Grumpy in the Florida Panhandle. Of course, you've got Matthew in Cleveland, Ohio. Of course, you've got Jess in Washington. And then, of course, you've got Kurt in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Georgia. So we've all got different kinds of taste in our diet of what we eat. And this experiment on Friday is to see if we're all hitting the same notes on the cigar or if we come out with weird, funky tastes. So, of course,
does it go good with some gator?
I'll probably come out with some.
Tastes like fish to me.
Others will go, what the hell is that? Tastes like fish. I'm hoping the cigar doesn't taste like fish. I'm hoping it doesn't, my brother.
Yeah. At the risk of losing our family rating, I will refrain from all comments.
It's not like you, Grumpy. It's not like you, my brother.
Hey,
this is, of course, the Back Porch episode. So we're just sitting and chilling and having a laugh and having a talk. It is.
And a good fish sandwich.
good fish finger sandwich.
Extra mayo.
This is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, my brother.
Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Fish tacos.
Yeah.
Any kind of taco. My favorite taco is a pink taco.
Oh, boy.
I was not going there.
You had to hit the nail right on the head there, man, didn't you?
We do apologize for this X-rated show.
I can't help it, you know.
Try to teach you young folks. Man, try to teach you young folks something, and what you do.
Man,
eat your freaking books, man. Come on.
You say eat your fucking books?
Yeah, I'm just hungry. It's all it is, man. It's okay.
Whiskey chew.
Remember, I gotta start fasting here in a couple of hours.
Yeah, see, Whiskey knows Taco Tuesday's good. Tell him, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday's good.
We do, of course. We do apologise to our viewers, and of course, viewer discretion is advised. You are a member of the Cigar Loons, and you are watching the Loons. Of course, we are going to get a little bit excited, but yes.
You apologize for what?
Ah, my bro.
What'd you do?
For being honest.
I didn't hear you do anything to have to apologize.
Listen, if you're married,
I'm
you don't
just
have
saying,
to
I'm hungry, man.
apologize.
Hey,
it's part of the vocabulary.
I learned that shit a long time ago.
Part of the vocabulary, man.
I got that shit at the ready. Sorry.
It ranks right up there with yes, dear.
Exactly.
Yes, dear.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Now
What would you
let's
like me
talk
to do?
about what I did.
Yes, dear. You're right. You're right, dear. Yeah.
See, I get the last
Now
word
let's
in
get ready for the
every
barbecue, of
argument.
course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Man.
got you got to have the
Oh,
last
brother,
word after
I
at
try and
every argument.
I don't know if
I
I
know.
can do that.
I know if I have an argument, basically, she'll go to bed, won't talk to me for 2 days, and it's constant cold shoulder, which winds me the fuck up. It does.
Uh,
And I'll talk to her and go, so what's for dinner tonight? Cold shoulder. Then Amelia will get involved, and I'm like, Moo, do you know what's for dinner? I don't think Mum's talking to you. Well, what we're having for dinner? Well, how do I know? And it's, of
Mom's
course,
not
2
talking
against
to
1, and
you.
it's like, oh, jeez, okay. That's it. Yep, I give up. I'm going in the garden. I'm going to have a cigar. See you later. I'm going in the garden. Yeah.
Yep, mom's not talking to you. As if I couldn't notice that. Why do you think I ask you?
Well, of course.
Oh, the
I
different
think
cultures is so
we do
insane.
love our wives. Yeah, we love our wives dearly. I mean, you know something, our wives, of course, let us do this and get away for a couple hours doing, of course, the Cigar Loons podcast and sitting and smoking a cigar and stuff. But of course,
Let's not play jokes here. They will pay for it and tell us to go away happily just so they can have some free time away from us.
Certainly sometimes.
She's like, my wife is like, great, I can crochet now without you bugging me every 2 minutes about cigars.
There's that.
Honey, could you taste
something.
this? What's it taste like?
Whiskey Tubey, what he just put. Sometimes the silence is better than Taco Tuesday.
Nah, I believe you pushing it,
jeez.
brother. I believe you pushing it.
Oh man.
But anyway,
Say
of
some
course,
things that's hard to beat.
like we were saying anyway, of course, with these episodes we've been going on Thursday, we're gonna, of course, maybe have one show a month where we're on a Thursday night. At least then, of course, Matthew hasn't got to rush in from getting in from work. Of course, the other guys haven't got to rush around, and Kurt hasn't got to rush around, of course, getting in from work because it's Kurt's day off. So we're going to start doing maybe a couple of episodes on there. And sometimes it depends on when the guest is free. If the guest, of course, can't do a Tuesday, it's why we either do, of course, a Friday or maybe a Thursday, or maybe early in the week or over the weekend. But we've got some great guests on the way, and of course, it's a shame Kurt's not here tonight. So we could just talk about our last guest, which was Laurel from AJ Fernandez. And geez, what a guest! What a guest! And they're asking us questions as well, and asking the Loons questions. It was a brilliant show, and to sit down with someone so knowledgeable about the whole AJ line and where she started from, of course, working in a B&M to then going to General Cigars, from General Cigars to AJ, in her career of where she is now, and everything she's doing for AJ. It's just a brilliant show. And you know something, yet again, I just want to put a big, massive thank you out to Laurel, of course, from the bottom of my heart and from the Cigar Loons hearts, of course,
Indeed, yeah.
sending us the Diaz de Gloria Brazil. So thank you very much, Laurel, for sending us that. And we did really enjoy that cigar. And of course, with me being in England, it's not out here yet in the UK. But how I enjoyed it and I smoked the shit out of it and absolutely loved it. I did.
I enjoyed mine too. As flat as it was.
Hey, old Grump. Hey, old Grump. Trust you, my brother.
You got
Trust
the
you.
old mailroom special.
You know, Mark could have been an inch or two a little longer, but I enjoyed the heck out of it all the way down to the burning lip.
Yeah.
I've heard that about you, Jess. You could do with a couple.
What was that?
But that's on a different note. I said I heard about you. You could do with a couple more inches, my brother.
Hey, I'm sorry. Average just doesn't cut it, I guess. All right.
Sorry, my brother. Oh. Well, Whiskey Tubes just said the show was a great show, so Whiskey Tube, of course, enjoyed it, and everyone did enjoy it. Well,
Yes, it
what
was.
did you
It was
think
a very
of
good
the show,
show.
Matthew? Of course. Yeah, what did you think, Matthew? Of course, with Laurel coming on and everything, and what did you reckon of the show? And we'll go round and pass it and what everybody thought of the show, of course.
Well, I tell you, she was just really welcoming to us and happy to just open up and tell us everything we wanted to know, and just had a lot of good stories and it was a great engaging guest, and I just absolutely loved it. And
Yeah.
that cigar
Yeah, it was cool. It was like
fantastic as well. So
it was like sitting down at a bar or a lounge, just chatting up with somebody. That's kind of how I felt with talking with her.
Yep. Grump,
It was
what
comfortable
did you
and
think,
stuff.
of course, sitting down? What did you think sitting down, of course, with Laurel Grump and having that chat with her and asking questions to us? What did you reckon of it?
I think she likes me.
Oh, that's obvious. Come on now.
yeah,
No,
That was obvious from the beginning.
you
well,
did the
that-
extra research, man. You did it.
I
good.
did, man. I did. It's like checking up on a grandchild. You get to be my age, you see these, people that are half your age. I mean, you kind of look at them like, they're your children or your grandchildren. You kind of got to look after them.
Yeah.
I ain't talking no romantic vibe, man. Come on. I mean, look at all this.
That's the thing.
Seriously.
You know something, but that's the thing. You know something. You did, of course, your history check on it, and of course, you started getting information that you needed, of course, to work your questions, what you wanted to ask, and
Exactly.
I think everybody
had to know.
everybody asked great questions.
Yeah, but Grumpy did his homework. No one else.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get beat up in school a lot? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm really smart, but I didn't really care for school much. So I was
always smaller than everybody else. They were always bigger than me. But and in order to get by, I had to be like that little carnival ride sitting over in the corner of the fair lot. People didn't really know whether they wanted to get on and ride or not until they tried it once.
Yeah.
They usually didn't come back twice. I was one of those. I didn't say much to anybody. I just let you go ahead and be a bully. Just go ahead and be your bully. Because one of these days when you least expect it, I'm going to bully that nose for you. Just once. Just once. That's usually all it takes. It's usually all it takes. Just a little tap. Just a little love tap. Nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
What? No Mike Tyson hanging off the nose and biting. Come on.
No. We're not biting ears and stuff like that. No.
Oh man.
Now, I might like a good rare steak, but ear ain't my thing. Just saying. I mean, it's a little too tough, a little too grisly.
Yeah. But no, I think everyone pulled out the bag last week, of course, with the questions. I know, of course, yourself, Grump, of course, you and Matthew, being your first time hosting, Nathan, did a brilliant job. Jess, of course, your questions, Kurt's questions, and she enjoyed it. And something, it makes it worthwhile, of course, when we finish the podcast and the guest stays around, and Laurel stayed around for an extra half an hour, just talking to Softy. And very knowledgeable lady. And something, we can't wait to have her back on the show again. And
that's right.
I'm looking forward to our guest in the next 2 weeks with what we've got coming. And I'm not giving anything away.
No,
But
I'm
all I
not.
will say is she's living the vida loca. Her lips are dead. Yeah, that's enough of that one. But that's
We
just
got
a
Ricky
little
Martin
bit
coming to the
of.
show. What?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
we got Ricky Martin coming on the show. My brother Ricky Martin.
Viva Las Vegas.
It doesn't sound right.
Hey,
It's a
But hey,
menudo
you know something?
reunion.
Dude, don't be playing with that
I think
shit.
we've
Their
just given
fans
something
are
away.
insane.
Hey,
I think
bro,
we just gave something away,
I
though.
can't lie. Menudo was the shit back in the day, though. Menudo was back.
Sure.
And you know, living in Puerto Rico with Puerto Rican artists, you get to see them all the time because it's a small ass island. I seen Ricky Martin when we were at the zoo, and he was with some girl, and we were just passing by, and I was just like, and that was
Before
back when he
came out,
was in Menudo.
And he was with girl.
When he was in Menudo and still
Before
liked
he
girl.
first came out.
Now,
Yeah.
if you want, if you just want an example of what old is,
who you're in love with. Go on, Grump.
I tell you what old is when you can remember seeing Alabama when they were a bar band in Myrtle Beach.
Hey.
Jeez,
Yeah.
bro. Holy.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
I saw them.
That's great. That's
play,
crazy. It is.
Mm-hmm.
They were in a bar band. I saw them play at. What the fuck was
No,
that?
they were the bar band in Myrtle
It
Beach
was
at this particular
Dolly
bar.
World. I saw them at Dolly World, which is an amusement park in Tennessee.
Yes, it is. About 45 minutes from where I grew up.
I saw them, and I saw Tanya Tepper.
You know something?
You know, Dolly.
The only band who I've seen in a bar, really, and they take a bit of a break away from the main public scene, and that was Bowling for Soup. They were in one of our local pubs playing a concert, and I enjoyed Bowling for Soup. Watched them, and they're absolutely brilliant. But of course, we can go on this subject a little bit now. Of course, about bands, and I know, of course, you Grumpy could talk to us all day long about this, and Jess, you could. I know you can, Matthew. I can, and Kurt could if he was here. And of course, top 3 bands or people, music-wise, that you've seen live. So I'm gonna go with you first, Matthew. Who's your top 3 bands or people that you've seen live who sing music you've seen live, my brother? Who did you enjoy?
Top 3. I'm going to start with probably one of yours, Metallica. I saw them back in 2000. And then I'm going to give out a random one. One of my favorite bands to see live is Seven Dust. I've seen them probably 10 times. They just put on a great show every time. John Witherspoon is a great vocalist. And then memorable concerts. Well, I tell you, I'll throw a country artist in here too. I've seen Brad Paisley about 7 times as well. He's a phenomenal guitarist, and just a good showman in general.
There's nothing wrong with that. We'll go now, of course, over to Grumpy. Go on, Grump. Who have you seen, my brother? Music-wise, and who stood out to you? Your top 3.
Well, your first concert that you go to, you don't forget. And of course, that was Black Sabbath. And that was about 1973, 74, somewhere along there.
Jeez.
Then there was Skinner. Skinnerd in
Some
'76.
people are big ones.
Right.
And I Waylon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of Waylon concerts, man. Waylon put on a good show.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass this over to Jess, man, and I've just got to sort one of the dogs out, and I'll be back. So, Jess, you answer this, and then, of course, when I come back, I'll answer mine. So, Jess, you're free, my brother. And Grump, the show's in your hands for 5. Why'd you?
Well, I haven't seen very many people in concert. At least not no big names. The only 2 big names that I've gone to see is Jelly Roll and Eric Church. And both great performers. The shows were awesome. But besides that, I haven't really been to any major, concerts like that. I've always been around a lot of the local stuff and more behind the scene than anything else. I don't know. I don't like the crowds.
I understood. Yeah, I've seen a lot of big bands because I went to some music festivals,
Yeah.
So like I went to Ozfest a few years in a row. So I got to see Ozzy, I got to see Black Sabbath, I got to see Marilyn Manson, I got to see Pantera before everybody died. I got to see I got to see Static X before Wayne Static died.
Nice.
Bands back the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. I was also in a band at the time playing shows with some pretty cool bands too. So,
Yeah.
it was a fun experience.
Oh yeah.
For me, I enjoyed it. So probably my most fun concert, like the festival, was Warped Tour. Though that one was Warped Tour was always fun to go to. I missed that show.
Yeah, I forgot to send you that picture of my drum set.
No, you sent me one the other day.
Did I?
Sorted. I'm back.
Yep.
I'm back.
I don't remember. Must have had too much bourbon that day.
Well, of course, hi to everyone who's watching us on Instagram and Rumble, and of course, joining us tonight on
He's back.
Of course, band-wise, with who I've seen, I would definitely say, I know Grumpy's going to correct me, and he wasn't. Of course, he wasn't the original of Fleetwood Mac, but of course, seeing Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, Christy McVie, John McVie, and of course Mick Fleetwood, and seeing, of course, Fleetwood Mac when I saw them play in Manchester, they blew the socks off me when I saw Fleetwood Mac, and I really enjoyed them. Then, of course, Matthews brought up Metallica when I saw Metallica at Download Festival when they were playing. Absolutely brilliant. And they blew the speakers with the fireworks and set some of the stage on fire when I was there. Then I've got to say it's a mix. Now, my third one. I mean, yeah, great Ash on that Grump. I was fortunate enough, of course, to see Black Sabbath without Bill Ward when they were at, of course, Download. But me personally, I would say, of course, seeing the likes of Prodigy before, of course, the singer died, and then seeing Soundgarden, of course, before Chris Cornell died. That would be my third choice of seeing them too, because I'm never going to be able to see them again. Of course, the other bands that I saw, like Saxon, I can see again. Of course, Black, bloody hell. Black Label Society. There we go. I can see them again, of course, with Staquali and everything and the different ones. But when you see someone and then they pass, it sticks. And it's like now, of course, with the whole thing of Fleetwood Mac, you're never going to see Christy McVie ever play again because she passed away. And Lindsey Buckingham, of course, got discommunicated from the band and he had to leave because of Stevie Nicks and stuff. And yeah, but I really enjoyed them. But of course,
that's a whole history between those two in itself, man.
Well, you look at it, Stevie Nicks was with him. Then Stevie Nicks was shagging, of course, Mick Fleetwood. Then he was shagging Sarah. So then Lindsey was doing songs, of course, about shagging up and all the rest because he said that's all what Stevie wanted to do. Then, of course, You Make Loving Fun was Christy McVie sleeping with the light technician as a hint against John McVie. Sarah, the song, of course, was about Stevie about Mick sleeping with a friend. And geez, you look at some of the history in them songs. The biggest selling album. Go on, Grump. What was the biggest selling album of theirs?
Was it what, Rumors?
Rumors. The biggest
Rumors
album.
But I tell you, and now I'm a Hart fan, and you know, and Wilson. That's my crush from 1976 to this day. I mean that's just you know. But Stevie Nicks has got one of the best diss lines in a song. It's so smooth, but it cuts to the bone, man. And it's in Gold Dust Woman.
Oh yeah.
And it says, "Rulers make bad lovers. You may as well put your kingdom up for sale."
Yep, damn right.
That's cold right there, man. That is cold.
Yeah, but you look at some of the songs and some of the lyrics that she came up with, and of course, one of her other digs was about, of course, they will come and they will go, about different women. Of course, a hint to Lindsay about all the different women. And she's saying, look, there's only going to be ever one woman that'll stick around. And it's going to be me and your distant memory. And I think, of course, you look at some of their on stage antics together, of course, when they do Landslide. And they're next to one another. And, of course, they're singing to one another. There's still that passion there of friendship and love for one another. But then look at how she's been ever since. Now, what do you reckon on Stevie's solo career? Because I think Stevie's has some great music on a solo career, like Edge of 17, then, of course, Rooms on Fire. She's brought a lot of great solo albums out and a lot of solo music that she's brought out that's great to listen to.
She did. I think she's probably fared better from her solo career. I mean, just a guess. Maybe not, but I mean, she has put out a lot of good stuff. So,
yeah, well, what do you reckon about? What do you reckon, you guys, about bands that break up and then, of course, they either come out with a different venture of joining a different band or they come out with their own solo career? So, of course, let's look at Ozzy Osbourne, for instance, lead singer of Black Sabbath, and then got kicked out and started his own solo career. What do you reckon on that? Do you reckon there's Black Sabbath made a big boo-boo? Of course, we're going with Dio, and then going, of course, with the other singer that they had, and then they were trying to relive some of the youth back with Ozzy? Or do you reckon it was the best move for the band to move forward with everything that Ozzy was doing, of course, with the drugs and the drink and the way they were moving with the times? What do you reckon on that one? Go on, Grump. I'll go with you. What do you reckon on that one?
I think at the time, given the current conditions, they probably felt like they were doing themselves a good, by making the switch, but I think once Ozzy put things back on track and started cutting those solo tracks and stuff, I think that is probably when they realized that they might have should have helped the man through some rehab and getting his head back on and continuing with Sabbath like it was, instead of curbing him, bringing Dio in, and nothing really ever worked for him in my mind. Once Ozzy was gone from the equation, nothing ever really worked for them.
Now, what about you, Matthew? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, being a pretty big fan of Ryan James Dio, I see some value in what they put out with him, but obviously they were putting a lot better stuff out with Ozzy. I actually got a chance to see them with Dio again right before he died. They did a little tour called Heaven and Hell Tour.
Yep.
And it was a great show. It was a great show. And I saw those guys with Ozzy probably like 5 or 6 years before that. And I thought that was an amazing show. So it has its place in the halls of rock and roll history, but it certainly wasn't the best of Black Sabbath.
Yeah. And what about your take, Jess? What's your take on it?
Well, anytime a band breaks up or lead singer leaves, it's always going to be bad news for one of them. Either their solo career is not going to go great, or the band is just not going to be the same anymore. And I think that just like Grumpy said, they probably could have just said, "Hey, brother, let me help you out." But at the end, it worked out for Ozzy, and you never know where our path in life is going to end up at. So, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I gotta say, you look at with what Ozzy did after, and of course bringing out his music, and Blizzard was his first album, and he released that, of course, on the 12th of September 1980, and in the UK it released in March 27th of March 1981. And you look at some of the songs on it, of course, Suicide Solution, great song. You look, of course, at the guitarist he had. What a waste of talent that was when he died in that plane crash. When, of course, it went into the side of the bus and took it. And can you imagine if Randy Rhoads had stayed alive with the other kinds of albums that Ozzy did, with the musical talent of that guy? Jeez.
Yeah,
he would have just killed every single album. And I think Ozzy's rode on a couple of good albums. He's had a couple of bad ones. The Ultimate Sin, of course, Ozzy classes it as the Ultimate Din. I like that album. Yeah. Of course, Shot in the Dark. It's one of my favourite songs. I like that. Thank God for the Bomb. I like that song. And I'm a big Ozzy fan. I've got all of his albums. I've got all of his new stuff as well. And I do like him, but Whiskey Tube's just brought up good up here. And, of course, with what he says. And I want to get your points on this. So most singers do great on their own, and the band does bad unless your name is Axl Rose. Yeah.
Well, the problem with Guns N' Roses is they went on to choose another fucking mess of a lead singer to start another band, the Velvet Revolver, and bringing in, the guy from STP, who is a complete mess of a human being as well. So, and that guy didn't even survive that experiment. So,
so they traded down from Axl, huh?
Well, talent-wise, they traded up, I think, personally. But he was so fucked up on drugs, he was never able to really do anything with it.
Oh God.
Velvet Revolver when it started, and it's a shame. It's a shame of how it went because, of course, you got Matt, who was the acoustic drum, which you, of course, got Duffy, of course, bassist. You got Slash, of course, in there. Then you got Dave, who was playing on guitar, and your vocals, of course, was Scott Wallard, and of course, former of the Stone Temple Pilots band that was formed in 2002. And they're still they were active until 2008 when he left the band, of course, and then he rejoined abruptly. But it's a shame when he passed away. And you look, of course, then when Slash left and they brought in that guitarist with the white Japanese mask on and the fucking chicken bucket on his head.
Buckethead.
What a screw up that was.
But
Buckethead.
like the problem is that dude is so technical.
Oh, geez.
He's so technical and so good at playing the guitar. He can't write a catchy hook to save his life, and that's what Slash is great at, is writing catchy hooks. So it just didn't work.
Well, what did you reckon when Axl, of course, stepped in for Brian Johnson in AC/DC, and he was touring with AC/DC? What did you reckon of that shit show?
I have not been a fan of anything Axl has done in a long time. I'll just say that.
Well,
Come on, Grump. You've got the answer. Come on, Grump. I can see.
Let him have it.
I mean,
let him have it.
I mean, come on, man. When you've got Bon Scott and you suffer that tragedy, but you're blessed enough to have a Brian Johnson come along, and you virtually lose nothing as far as style, sound, tempo, rhythm. You virtually lose zero.
Right.
And then you turn around and put a zero in to lead the ship. No.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when you say AC/DC, there's things you expect to hear. Axl ain't it.
Yep.
No.
That's just being honest. I'm sorry. That's just being honest. When you say AC/DC,
it's true.
I expect AC/DC. And there ain't but two people that's made that happen. Vocal wise.
That's the thing. You look at AC/DC, and of course, Brian Johnson was on that airplane, and he was suffering with his hearing, and that's why he had to step down for a bit. And of course, he'd already got tour dates, and AC/DC decided to put a lawsuit in against Brian straight away. And it's like, look, I'm going through this. Well, you can't fulfill the dates. So there's a lawsuit. So, of course, they got Axl to fit in. And then, of course, Guns N' Roses reformed. But you look at what happened after. Brian came back, of course, with these hearing aids that have been developed so he can still sing on stage. And it amplifies his sound better for him to hear and takes out a lot of the audio, of course, from the guitars and different things. And he still, of course, gets with the beat of the song. You look at the last album they brought out. They brought out some killer songs, which you spell. Brilliant song. And just look at what they've just done. They've just gone and toured again, all over England and everywhere. Sell-out concert after sell-out concert after sell-out concert. And you know me, one of my favourite songs, and I'm a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan as well, was, of course, the last action hero, Big Gun.
Yeah.
Just listening to that song when he's in the car and Big Gun comes on and he's chucking everything. Oh, yeah. That song. And then, of course, Can you name another big major rock band, Matthew, that had a song in the Last Action Hero? And of course, I'll give you a hint. The singer of the band left a band that you and me have both seen live, and you mentioned tonight.
Megadeth.
Any form? Yes, Megadeth. Yep. Anger Again was the song, and just listening to that was a great song in there. And I actually love that film. Just looking at Arnold when he walks in, and Tina Turner's there, and Tina Turner's trying to tell him what to do, and he's got the big stogie in his mouth.
Yeah.
And near enough all through the film, he's got a stogie. You can't
almost
beat
the entire movie.
Yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant film, and I love
Yeah,
that film.
it's like it's such like a yeah, exactly. It's like a feel good movie from my childhood. I love that movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those movies if I don't often look it out, but if I find it on TV, I'm watching that fucking thing. You know, I'm flipping through and I see it. I'm like, oh shit, I guess we're watching this.
Yeah, but Matthew, that's probably how I fall into cigars. Was that film and seeing them? That's how a downfall into cigars.
Not even just that.
We saw Honored
I don't
do it.
I don't know about you, but like I loved action movies and old Western movies, and those dudes were always smoking cigars and always sipping on fucking whiskey. Yeah. And that is like...
Yeah, but look at Scarface.
That was the image of a man. Yeah.
You know? You're right. You're right. Growing up, that's how it was for me too. The image of a man had a cigar in it. It's everywhere you look. You know, you're watching Arnold, or you're watching, you know, Sylvester Stallone, or you know, everybody got a cigar.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. What do you reckon then if this were, of course, films are these days, where of course they're like flavored cigars that they're smoking? And what I want to put this point out, especially to you, Matthew, because I know you've probably watched it. So the new Batman film, of course, with Robert Pattinson, and we had, of course, Colin Farrell playing Penguin. We know his backstory was either a cigarette in a cigarette, of course, the big long holder was cutted. They cut that out of the film. Now, the new show that's coming up, the Penguin show, on HBO Max, he's smoking cigars in it. Finally, he's overturned it to smoke cigars. Now, what do you reckon on that? And of course, then, not giving everything away, of course, of Deadpool and Wolverine, but you see a lot of cigar smoking come back into that, of course, with, of course, Cavalrine, as we will say, Henry Cavill, and then, of course, the whole story on him smoking cigars all day and made himself sick. He got nicotine poison. Smoking cigars for 8 hours. 8 hours smoking cigars and got nicotine poison. A bit like when Grumpy smoked that blackened.
Yeah, that don't feel good on you. That don't feel good on your belly, man. No. That don't make your tummy feel funny, boy. I tell you what. Lay you down.
I hadn't seen anything about the Penguin show and him smoking cigars. Do you know what he's smoking? Is he smoking like a Toscano? Because that would fit.
No, he's probably smoking big fat cigars.
Yeah, big fat fucking 70 rings.
Yeah. Penguin had to be smoking a Perfecto or a Figurado or something, maybe even a Salomon. Yeah. Well, Penguin got to be smoking something.
He was
more on
something debonair.
Well, it's an Italian cigar. You know what I mean? Those Italians, love those long, skinny cigars.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I thought maybe that would fit him. But you know.
Yeah. He's good with the Toscano.
Yeah.
I think a Churchill. A Churchill. You could see him smoking a Churchill.
I can see that too, because he's a mobster.
Right? The Churchill. Yeah.
He'd be a lot like Winston, a little short, stubby guy.
But mainly when you see in the graphic novels and different things with the Penguin, it's more of like a short robusto.
Is that
when you say short robusto, 4.5 inches be 50 ring gauge, which is a short Robusto. And I could see that because you look at him, it's mainly down to the nub when he's sitting and he's smoking his cigar. And of course, he's managed to get that back in. But you look at anything else that's come out, mainly it's an infused cigar. It's like apple flavored or cherry flavored. And this is what they were saying. There's even on Deadpool and Wolverine for Henry Cavill just to say no, I want to smoke a proper cigar was major for him because he's not a cigar smoker. But to be in that prime of what he wanted to do in the film, he smoked it. But Whiskey Tubes just put a comment, so I just want to bring Whiskey Tubes up and say thank you to Whiskey Tube for joining us. And Whiskey Tube's comment is, I had a flavoured cigar yesterday, the Asylum 867 Midnight, and it was surprised it was good. When I was a kid, when Adam's me was Batman the Penguin also had a cigarette played by Burgess Meredith, and of course Burgess Meredith.
Yep.
Great Penguin, of course.
That's who did
Rocky,
it.
Great show and Rocky. And here we go. We've got the Leaf Cutters watching. Welcome, of course, to the Leaf Cutters and great show.
Hey, Sarah.
Cutters with, of course,
Hey,
Terrence
Sarah.
Riley from Magnolia.
Yeah, like a sardine
Wood
infused
Penguin
cigar.
cigar be fish infused.
Oh, that's a cigar.
Here we
That's a
go
cigar
again.
for grumpy
Here we go
right there
again.
for
On the
sure.
fish fruit.
And we've gone full circle.
That's right. We're back to fish. Back to fish. Thank you, Cigar Leaf Cutters. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
But no, you look at it and you look at anything from Clint Eastwood to, of course, Opportunity to Arnold to mainly any of them films that we watched when we were growing up. They had, of course, cigars, and I was introduced to cigars, like I say, through watching Clint Eastwood, then Arnold, and seeing that, and then, like I say, when I finally did have a cigar, it was that, of course, King Edward, and me and Jess gone about this. I fucking inhaled that, and I was my guts up and sick from that because I didn't know what I was doing. But then I learned, and of course now I appreciate it, and it's nice to see that it's slowly coming back into films where, of course, they're smoking a cigar and showing the passion for it. Because why is it there's something that's handmade and a passion a company like they bring out should be taken off on a film studio. But if you're outside and doing a scene, what's stopping the person who smokes a cigar and wants to bring that cigar into the film? What's the problem in him smoking it? And of course, the Leaf Cutters has put here about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And great film, of course, with Clint with the Toscanos. And of course, Toscanos are made in Italy, and the great cigars. And of course, Dirk from Cigars for Beginners. He's put a post out, and I think he's going to be doing a review on Cigars for Beginners about the Toscanos. And they're great. Sick to smoke. Jeez, I'll tell you one thing, they're fiery when you smoke them. They've got some great taste to them. And I've smoked a couple of them, and they've wowed me and knocked me out at the ballpark. I've had some that are just made with, of course, filler and binder. And some of them that the companies have sent me years ago, they were fiery little things without a wrapper on it. And this is the thing why we do this and why we talk about it, and why, of course, the Leaf Cutters do theirs. And for anyone who wants to go and check them out, go and check out the Leaf Cutters. Great friends of ours. Of course, we support them. They support us by them coming in, and we support them. And like I say, go and check out, of course, their show. And they've got, of course, Terrence Riley from Magnolia Leaf. And we had a great show with Terrence 5 months ago when he came on. And wealth of knowledge, that guy. And of course, Leaf Cutters just Dirk had one with us, and we enjoyed it. And of course,
there you go. Yeah.
And of course, if you are in the Georgia area in March, of course, is running a cigar event in Georgia, and it's going to be, of course, in March, and they're going to have some different vendors and cigars, and of course, you can go and check that out. And if you go and visit, of course, the Cigar Loons website, you can find the poster in events, and it will give you a direct link straight through, of course, Dirk's website, where you can go and grab yourself a ticket for the event if you're in Georgia. And of course, if you go, you're going to be able to meet the Leaf Cutters because they're going to be there, and also you can meet our resident Back Porch cowboy, Cigar Kurt, because Cigar Kurt's going to be there having a great time. And like I say, we appreciate everything, and of course, the Leaf Cutters just said they're going to be there, and I really like what else they've put. They've put heck, Cigar Loons rock. So thank you very much, Leaf Cutters. You rock as well, my brothers, and we appreciate.
Which one of you leaf cutters are putting on the cookout after the cigar event? That's whose house am I going to?
There you go.
Hey, it's in you're the host state, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I figured Grim.
You know
He's probably the one got all the grills and stuff. It's probably gonna be Grim. He probably got all the grills and stuff. Yeah.
Andy's.
And then
so they just Andy's.
Oh, okay. We'll go to Andy's. That's fine. It don't
Andy's.
matter. It don't matter.
Oh, of course, if you carry on watching our content and you like it, please give it and go and please like and subscribe, of course, to the Leaf and help them as well, because you know something, they put out a great show like we do, and we're big supporters of theirs like they're big supporters of ours, and we will of course be doing a joint episode with the Leaf Cutters. We just need to sort out our diaries and our calendar to make sure there's day free when we're free, because we're pretty much booked up until
we're busy
January
people
now with guests, and it's crazy. It's crazy to be booked up till January of next year with guests, and never in my wildest thoughts we'll be that far booked up with what we're coming with. And you know something, it's great. And when we can help, of course, like the Leaf Cutters, if they need guests, or they can, of course, give us contacts for guests, we appreciate it. And like I say, we can help them and they can help us. And it's about looking after one another in this community, because we're all bringing out a podcast. And it's not about one person watches one and they stay away from the other, because I watch the Leaf Cutters like we all do, and they watch ours, and they're here tonight. And like we said, appreciate it, of course, and let's set a date. So I'll get in touch, of course, with you guys, or Matthew, or Grumpy, or Jess, or Kurt will get in touch with you, and we'll sort that date out and get you on. And like I say, we'll have a great time, smoke some cigars, have a laugh, have a chat, and see what makes you guys tick and why you guys got into cigars. And this is the thing. And of course, Whiskey Tubes just put a comment, and Whiskey Tube says your show is awesome. That's why you guys got booked up with the guests. It's not about being awesome.
Appreciate it, brother. We might have to hire him for a PR guy.
Yeah. You know something?
Give him a job.
You look at how we are. You look at how the Leaf Cutters are in different ones. We're just humble for the fact of we get the guests and the guests want to come on. And we're not the biggest podcasts. We're not the biggest podcasts out. We haven't got the millions upon millions of subscribers. We're doing this out of the love for cigars and to introduce people to different cigars. I mean, passionate about it. It's just a group of guys that get together. You look at the Leaf Cutters, pretty much they're all central to one another. You look at us, for instance, we're all over the board when we get together. And never in my wildest dreams did I ever think there's, of course, I'd be sitting down with you guys. Never did I think I'd strike up a good friendship with you guys, and the same, of course, what I've got with Kurt, and have that brotherhood and this friendship of why we are this and why we are the Cigar Loons and why we came up with this to do this. And we appreciate it. We appreciate all the support, all the love that we get off the companies. And I know, of course, we've gone on about guests that we've had. And of course, I know we're coming into September now. And we haven't got much long left, of course, of this year. So I'm just going to chuck this one out to you guys. This is a crazy one, so I'm gonna chuck it out.
Oh boy.
But for anyone who's watching as well, who guest wise have you enjoyed seeing on the Cigar Loons podcast? And of course, guys, this goes out to you as well. Who have you enjoyed being on the Cigar Loons podcast?
Seriously, you're gonna make me tell you that?
Come on,
and you're gonna make me, and you're gonna make me go first.
Yeah, Grumpo. Of
Well,
course I am. So come on, Grump, gate out.
Our Laurel was probably my absolute, that's probably the one I've enjoyed the most. But now when we had Ricky and David, from EP, what we've man, it's hard to put a finger on just one. I mean, Dirk. I mean, come on.
Yep.
How do you point? I mean, just like you said, we're not the biggest yet. We're working on it, but we've been very blessed with the quality of guests that we've had and the involvement that they have in the cigar industry. And we've also been very blessed with those guests giving up the information to us that they've actually shared with us. I mean, I'm sure some of the stuff that we've learned is probably not your everyday thing, So,
no,
but it's hard to put a finger on one, though. It's hard to put on just one.
Yeah, I didn't see, of course, the latest comment on Instagram. I've just seen it, and of course, what are on about the bands and that. What are we going to hear? Highway to the Jungle now.
We're going to hear what?
Imagine that for a song. Highway to the Jungle.
God, I hope not.
Instead of Welcome to the Jungle, Highway to the Jungle.
That's just nasty to think about.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, Matthew. What about you, my brother? Who would you say stuck out with who we've had at the moment?
I unfortunately I got to repeat a little bit of what Grumpy said. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Laurel was absolutely like a huge one for me because I'm such a, AJ Fernandez fanboy, and I just love everything that they do. So I was super excited for that one. So that one had a big impact on me. I would say I enjoyed Drunk Chicken. They were great. Dirk was great. I really liked watching David from EP Carrillo. I wasn't part of that one, but I was engaging in the conversation from home. That was another great show. I think we've had a lot of good shows, and I'm looking forward to some of the ones that are coming up here that we're not quite yet ready to announce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can't discount those. We got good ones coming. Just saying.
We've got some.
Not saying who.
Really
just saying.
Bangers coming out, and yeah. But Jess, what about you, my brother? Who's been three that stuck out to you? I know, of course, you've come later on into the group with who we've got coming and stuff.
Yeah.
But who you enjoyed?
Yeah, so I did come in a little later, and but Drunk Chicken is one that I watched and everything during the live, and I enjoyed Drunk Chicken, and Dirk was great. Same thing with Laura, and I really enjoyed conversating with Harriman Salomon. They tell us so much information, information that we wouldn't have thought of, even asking for, and they were just so open and so free to communicate with us, and it was a great experience with them.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
one.
you know something. I've got to say, I enjoyed Laurel. I did enjoy Laurel last week. But my main three before Laurel that stand out is, of course, Davey from EP Carrillo, when, of course, we did the Uncle Black just before it came out to PCA. I would then say, of course, Brian from Cavalier Cigars, because Cavalier is so unique with the gold leaf that's on there with the diamond and how it burns through. It's just a unique cigar, and they of course, I put in my cigar order, so I'm going to be smoking more of them because finally GQ have got their hands on them. So of course our sponsors finally got them, and I can smoke them.
There you go.
I'd then say, of course, Terence Riley. Terence told us a lot of stuff about Aganorsa and the information he brought out, and really easy to talk to. Then I've got to say, one of my all-time favorites was sitting with Ricky Rodriguez from West Tampa, and that guy you could sit with for hours upon hours talking to him, and it was good for him to tell us his story of where he started, of course, with CAO, and then leaving CAO and everything that happened there, to then, of course, starting West Tampa, and where his career is taking him now. And you look at anything CAO-wise, like the Amazon Basin, of course, the Brazil, you look, of course, at the American, you look, of course, at the Italian, anything that you think knew enough, the Bones, the Pavilion, the Sessions, Ricky put his hand to that, and Ricky blended it. And the thing what got me with Ricky,
That's a good one.
is even though Ricky blended him, Ricky doesn't class himself as a master blender. And the reason he doesn't class himself as a master blender is because he's not learnt no one how to blend. So he just classes himself as a regular person blending cigars. Now, you look, of course, at what he's just put together with Ernesto from EP Carrillo, the Circle of Life. And I know Grumpy's been very fortunate to smoke that, and Kurt has, and other people.
Yes.
And, of course, Laurel said to us that she smoked the one, and he's definitely a wow factor. And he's on for a winner. You know something, everyone's starting to recognise him. He's getting, of course, the awards. He's getting into the proper places that he needs to be, like a cigar aficionado and half wheel and different ones. And hats off to him. Hats off to all the guests, to be honest. We're not just singling guests out. And, of course, like we said, we've got a lot of unique guests coming. And just before we came live, I've got another guest that's booked in, and my phone doesn't stop. I'll either have Matthew messaging me and saying, look, we need this date, or, of course, Jess, or Grump, or Kurt, and you look, now, January, we're booked up to, and it's like, geez, okay. And like I say, we're just enjoying it. This is the thing we're enjoying, like Leaf Cutters and Joints and everyone else who's bringing out the podcast, and well done to everyone, because you know something. When you look at what other people are doing with different guests, you're like, oh shit, why didn't I think of that guest for go and get on the podcast? Or why didn't I think of this one? And there's that many. That's the thing. There's that many to go around. And you look at the list what we put together. 126 boutique cigar companies that we've already got on a list. And you just look at how many we've reached out to, and how many now are coming on the Cigar Loons podcast. Yeah, it's crazy the amount. And like I say, of course, 2 weeks, and we've got Ricky Martin coming on singing Viva La Vida. No Vida La Loca or whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be a great show. I might have just give
really almost let it go right there.
Away. I know. I just need to let it go. There's a teaser for you. There's a teaser. It is a great teaser. And make sure to check it out, like I say. And you know something, grab a cigar, come sit with us. Enjoy, and we appreciate everyone who does sit here, comments in the comments, and spends this hour with us on the podcast, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate all the love. And like I say, Leaf Cutters, we will be in touch. We will sort a date out with you and do a joint podcast with you. We can't wait to sit down with you and talk to you. And to everyone, of course, on Instagram, thank you for checking us out. Of course, AJ, who won, of course, the Cigar Loons competition, was on Ancestry Cigars. Thank you, of course. Different people there, young cigar guy, and different ones, and everyone who's watching us on Rumble, and also, of course, join us on YouTube. We really appreciate it. And like I say, if you want to go and grab any of our content that we do bring out solo, then of course you can go and check out Cigar Kurt. You can go and check out Matthew at Vital and Proof on Instagram and TikTok. You can check out Grumpy at Grumpy Preacher 58 on Instagram and also on TikTok. You can check out Jess at Tobacco G Sticks on Instagram and also, of course, on TikTok. If you want to check out me, the Ginger Grizzly Bear, as my nickname is. Yeah, okay. Thanks for that, Kate. Much love, my brother, for calling me the Ginger Grizzly Bear. Of course, you can catch me at Rocky Cigar Reviewer on Instagram, and you can catch anything that I post for the Cigar Loons on TikTok at the Cigar Loons. And we much appreciate it. And of course, you can check us out on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called the Cigar Loons. And if you want to come and join us and talk in our Discord group, we've got a Discord group. And go on to our website at www.cigarloons.com and you'll see the Discord section. Click on the button and it will guide you straight to our Discord group. And come and join us. And you know something? We go live in there most evenings. We play poker. We chat about cigars. And we just do this like we're doing tonight, sitting at the back porch and smoking a cigar, having a chat and having a laugh. And we do bring up a lot of different subjects. And the only thing we don't bring up, of course, is politics and religion. Because politics and religion and football teams, it can cause arguments. And I know everyone's got their own side in religion. Everyone's got their own side in politics. But I've just had some daunting news that's going to be hitting the UK. And one of the biggest things that's going to be hitting the UK, we, of course, as people know, Labour now is taking over from Tories in the UK. And I've mentioned to you guys that we have our budget every year where, of course, prices go up, national insurance goes up that we have to pay to the state, different things go up and all the rest. So as of October, we've got a budget. And from what, of course, Keir Starmer said, it's going to cripple the UK market and it's going to cripple the UK people. Because of the Tories for 7 years, Tories put us in 22 billion deficit. 22 billion. This country's struggling. And our taxes are going up. So you know what that means, don't you guys? Guys, he's going to be paying more for his cigars. So, if you want to support Rocky Cigar Reviewer, you can go and check me out on OnlyFans where I sell my t-shirts, I sell my pants, and I sell t-shirts. You can come support me, Scabber Brothers. But no, you know something? It's crazy. It's crazy when you think of the price point of how cigars are, and for 42 cigars here in the UK is over $800. So just think on that. $800 for 42 cigars.
I would have quit yesterday.
For real.
Well, you know something, Grump? We can remember when I put that order in at Neptune's, when I had them cigars from Neptune's, 50 cigars, and it cost me $450. So there's the price equivalent when you look at that of what you can get 50 cigars in. Some of them cigars that I had in that 50 were, of course, the Payback by Room 101. Which you had the Blackened by Drew Estate in there, Perdomo in there, different ones. And you look here for Perdomo over here, they're ranging anywhere from £22, which roughly £22 near enough $30 a cigar. And you look at the price of what you can get States and different ones, it's just crazy. And this is the fact of customs charges that we have to pay, of course, taxes, different things. We are the biggest buyer of tobacco in the UK, and also we're the biggest seller of medical cannabis in the UK that we sell back to the United States, because we've got big, of course, cannabis farms here, and we resupply back to the United States. We're also the biggest importer of alcohol and the biggest drinker of alcohol. And you reckon they're trying to get rid of all cigars, all smoking paraphernalia by 2030. You get rid of that in 2030. What's your next? What you're going to get rid of? You're going to get rid of alcohol. So you get rid of alcohol and you get rid of all smoking paraphernalia. Where are your taxes coming? Because that's what you're taxing us on. So where are you going to be making this tax from? Yeah. And it's a crazy thing, and this is why, of course, we say go and, of course, look at what the PCA are doing. Go and support the PCA. Go and support your local B&M. Go and support your online retailer. Go and check out Cigar Rights of America, Cigar Rights of Europe. Go and check out the Boutique Premium Society. Go and check out these associations, and if you can help them, then help them and support them, even if it's just subscribing and paying a membership. It helps because of the way they are fighting to change the laws for the FDA in America, and then also what they're trying to change with, of course, Europe and different places. Because the last thing we need is to be like Canada, where all our bands are taken and it's a black band with writing on. I like seeing bands. I like seeing what we're getting on a cigar. I don't want to be where I can't smoke a cigar. They've already put the year up over here. So when my son becomes 18, I'm never going to be able to smoke a cigar with my son, especially in the cigar lounge anyway. Yes, okay, I can do it in my own garden, away from people, and introduce him into cigars if he wants to smoke them. But he'll never be able to buy himself a cigar to smoke. It's going to have to be where Dad buys him a cigar, and he smokes a cigar with Dad. And it's crazy because why should we be impacting on this? And like Whiskey Tube said, it's time to move to America. And brother, trust me, I've already got an invitation to move, and I'm going to move, and I'm going to go live with my adopted granddad, Grumpy. So I'm going to go live with Grumpy. Because what it was, all the brothers sat down on Discord, and it was like, right, who am I going to come live with? Jesse made some excuse up that he's going to have me. Matthew's like, oh, no, two grizzly bears together won't mix. Then Kurt was like, brother, I ain't got enough room. So you're going to have to go live with Grumpy. So Grumpy got the short stick, and yeah, Grumpy's got me.
That's all right. I stick you back on the back 20 back there. I'll never know you're around.
If I had a back 20, I would totally do that too.
Right? Yeah.
Whiskey Tube said my son-in-law moved from here to Bolton, and of course, Whiskey Tube's son-in-law's from Bolton in England, and he loves it to you. And of course, I don't blame him, because you know something. England's changing, and it's crazy with what we're seeing. And you look, of course, at the American life, and like everyone said, when they went to America, it's the dream. It's the dream to go to America. And I've been, and I love America, and Emily's been, family of mine have been, and you know something, there will be more trips. There is trips coming, and I'll be meeting up with these guys, and of course we're going to be going to some of the events. So the Cigar Loons are going to be at the events. We're going to be, of course, visiting PCA. We're trying to facilitate going to the Dominican Republic, and we're going to go and visit one of the cigar factories in Dominican. Then we're going to go over to Nicaragua and visit one there in Honduras, and try and get this content for you guys by visiting, of course, the cigar factories and showing you how things are. But from me, thank you for joining the Cigar Loons tonight. And of course, Grump, lasting words, my brother, on tonight's Back Porch episode that we've done.
Hey, I think we need to do more. No, I've enjoyed it. I always do. Appreciate everybody stopping by.
Yeah, Matthew, what's your thoughts, bro?
These are great conversations that we always have, and it's always fun to kind of just shoot the shit and see what's on everybody's mind and give our audience a little bit of an insight into how we talk to each other normally anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's always a good time.
Yeah, Jess, what about you, my brother?
Yeah, no, I like when we have an episode like this where it's just kind of chill, because even though our audience still comments, when we have a guest, it's more guest related, and this way it's more of a one-on-one kind of thing with our guest, and I enjoy that.
Yeah,
That's it.
I enjoy it. Something, of course, on it. Session Vine Cigars, because Session Vine for popping in, and of course, we did have Alvaro from Ash and Vine join us on the podcast, and we did sit down with Alvaro when we started. And thank you to everyone that's tuned in tonight. And of course, when are we going to be next live, guys? When are we going to be next live?
Next live will be Friday at
Grumpy,
4 p.m.
Grumpy, what we're going to be doing?
Pacific.
Grumpy, what we're going to be doing, and what time are we Central Time?
Well, we are going to be sitting down with the Tabernacle, and that will be at 6 p.m. in the Central Time Zone, Friday night.
Matthew, what time are we going to be Eastern, and where are we going to be streaming, my brother?
7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be streaming live on Rumble, Instagram, and here on YouTube.
Anyone crazy enough in England, of course, it's going to be midnight that we're going to be live, and then, of course, the times will be changing. So, of course, we know there's the clocks forward and back and whatever, and upside down, sideways, and what fucking ever, and it confuses me when the American time changes to England, because we're normally catching up 2 weeks later. But of course, when the time changes, we will give you notification if the time's changing. But mainly, it's normally the same kind of time, and then changes in time are coming up within the next couple of months. So we will let you know. Yeah, Grump?
It's that spinning ball effect.
Yeah.
Did I say that? That's another show.
I'm surprised.
Another show altogether.
I'm surprised you said spinning ball. I'm surprised you said spinning ball, my brother. What we've spoken about before.
Wasn't it spinning saucer?
I'm surprised on that one.
No, we're too late in the episode to bring that stuff up. We'll be another 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And of course, we will be doing another rabbit hole episode where we will be going down that rabbit hole.
Oh yes.
We can't wait for that. But from us, it's a big thank you. Much love for tuning in and catching us. And we shall catch you Friday when we will all be sitting down. And we will be smoking, of course, Foundation Cigars, the Tabernacle Broadleaf. And it's going to be the Toro size. We're all smoking. And see if we're all getting the same kind of taste notes. But
go buy yours.
Course, I'm not playing. What, my brother?
I was telling the people to go buy theirs so they can smoke
go
it
buy
with
theirs.
us.
Sit there and smoke with us Friday night.
And smoke it with us.
Yeah,
that's it. Go get you a Tabernacle.
Yeah,
join us Friday night.
Yeah, you can join us. And Whiskey Juice, but great show, guys. So thank you, Whiskey Juice. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in.
Appreciate it,
like
buddy.
I say, we will be live on, of course, Friday. And I'm not going to play you our number one award-winning song, Cigar Loons. I'm going to play you our kind of newish song that I kind of wrote next. And Stay Smoky, Grumpy, say you saying, my brother.
Hey, look. Jesus ain't driving your bus. You better pull over and stop. Let Jesus take the wheel. That's all I got to say.
Keep him lit, brothers.
start now.
Matthew.
Won't be now.
And we'll catch you on the next thing, guys. Stay healthy, stay healthy, enjoy, and we'll catch you next week. Well, we'll catch you on Friday, not next week. Catch you on Friday.
Friday night. Got to keep that boy straight. And you want.
Gotta keep me straight big time. See you later.
Later, guys. Well, maybe not.
Why ain't the playing play song?
The portal won't
Gremlins
open.
The Gremlins have
All right, Grumpy, start singing.
The Gremlins
Okay. Here we go.
Go grab your guitar, man.
This is the
Cigar
after.
Yeah, really.
Podcast.
That's why I'm pressing on the wrong thing. See you next. See you.
From the depths of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest lips to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.